Hello, guys and gals, and welcome back to another rant time. Yes, this rant time is going to be a little more special than the others. This is going to be a factual rant time. I'm not offering opinions here, I'm offering factual stuff here. Why am I doing that? Well, first off, before I begin, let me just tell you I'm a little sick right now. My throat is murdering me, but I gotta make this, okay? I gotta get on this ranty thing here. Is this PC versus console shit. Now, recently, I wanted to wait on this, but the whole warfare on the gaming front has died down, alright? And now we got people spreading misinformation. I'm not gonna fucking call out names, but we've gotten misinformation about our PCs and consoles. And I'm gonna be here to tell you the facts about both, the good and the bad. And even to make a buying decision, because I get asked this all the time. What should I get? PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Wii U, PC, Mac, Commodore 64, ZX Spectrum. I don't know. Well, let me tell you what you should get. First off, get what you want to get. Get what your friends are getting. Because these systems are very social now. And you probably want to get the one where you can have your friends playing with you at the same time, and the one that offers most value for your buck. Now, let's go on with this whole console stuff. And let's tier this out first. So the first sort of separative point that people sort of fight about is cost. Now, let me just tell you right now, the fact here, PC gaming is cheaper than console gaming. That is a fact, and now I'm going to explain to you why. Now, we're going to have to talk about what upfront cost means. What an upfront cost is how much money you're paying to get into the field. So with the console, obviously you're going to pay a cheaper cost. The PlayStation 4 is $400, Xbox One is $500, Wii U is I think $300. You're paying less versus a PC, because these consoles are sold at a loss. Sony doesn't make money off the PlayStation 4. They make money rather on the peripherals and the games they license. And we'll get to that in a minute too. That's same thing with Microsoft and Nintendo, if you were wondering. That's how sales work on a console. So when you buy a PS4 is $400. For $400, that is a very good piece of kit to game on. Really, it is. Look at the games on it. They look really good, really, and again, through optimization, but it's a good piece of kit. It's a good value for the hardware. PCs, I'm telling you right now, for a good PC that is gaming ready and, gaming fitted, costs $600. Okay, now you can build one for less, and I've built them for less, but an average price, I gotta say, is $600 to $700. And I won't lie to you, my graphic card, a GTX 780, when I got it brand new, was like $800 when it came out. Alright, with taxes and whatnot. So my card, but then again, this card has more graphical capabilities than both the Xbox One and the PS4 combined. Regardless to say though, this card costs more than those systems. Fucking pretty big price there. So my PC is well worth over $1,000 something. So I did spend a considerable amount. Now, will I need to spend for the whole lifespan? No, and I'll get to that in a minute too. The upfront cost to PC game, alright, is more expensive than consoles. But why it's cheaper, and I'll tell you this right now, is you're saving a lot of money on peripherals and games. Now, when you buy your PC peripherals, you're not buying, a certain branded keyboard or mouse. I know a friend who bought a keyboard and mouse for like $20. Now, it's a wireless 2.4 gigahertz keyboard mouse. It's not like a Razer game board or something like that, or some crazy keyboard with the bells and whistles. And he's playing, his games just fine on it. He's playing his Diablo 3s, his Battlefield 4s, his Sims, whatever. He's playing his games just fine with that keyboard mouse setup. When you go on PC, you save a lot of money on games. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of what Steam sales are. Let me tell you right now, as a PC gamer, I saved $1,500 to $2,000 US in game sales. Yes, I'm not kidding with you. I'd save that much money on game sales. Console games, the cheapest I bought them at is like, what, $10? Those were pre-owned. But usually, when a console game comes out, you pay $60 for it. PC, it's $50. I'll give you an even better example. When BioShock Infinite came out for the PC, the Xbox 360 PS3, I didn't pay $60 for it. What I did was I went on another site, CD Key House. I bought a legitimate CD key from them, and I redeemed it on Steam, which was completely legal, by the way. I made sure it was in the right region, and I got it for $30. So I saved 50% off retail price. Not saying, that's... I mean, that alone is a big thing for PC side. You save a lot of money, along with digital content as well. On the console side, they've introduced digital downloads. Digital downloads are a big thing, especially since the PlayStation 3. That's really been pushing the digital front. Same with the Xbox One and the Xbox 360. But let me tell you right now, console digital sales will never match PC digital sales. Let me tell you why that is. PC has a competition, PC and Mac rather. I'm going to include Mac as well. There's some decent Mac gaming going on. Me at the office, I'm gaming on Macs too, when work is on a standstill. But still, on the console front, you will never reach those sales simply because the only vendor you can digitally purchase from on a console is either a Sony-approved vendor if you're on a PlayStation device, or Microsoft Store if you're on the Xbox, or Nintendo's eShop if you're on the Wii U. That's how digital sales work. The only sale that they have no competition on digital front. PC Steam sales exist not because Valve is incredibly nice. Valve is really nice, but because they're also competing with Origins and Uplay, Desura, Good Old Games. They're competing with many different vendors and key shops and whatnot. So they got to make sure they match their prices up if they want to make some sales. That's why consoles will never get the digital sales that you get. Yes, you get a 50% off sale, but for every 50% off sale that happens once in a while, Steam gets sales like crazy. You can save a lot of money. There are games. Retail games. I'm telling you, Max Payne 3, which is on sale for like, what, $5? Really good savings. Savings that simply won't happen on a console, either digitally or even physically. You can't save that much money. So the upfront cost may be more expensive on a console. The upfront cost, sorry, on a PC, but on a console, the upfront cost that you're paying is less. You're paying $400 for the system. Maybe you'll pay $50 for the controller, which, in my opinion, is a little more overpriced. But you're also paying $60 for each brand new game. On the PC front, you're paying $600 to $700 for the initial hardware, which is more, but you're saving a lot of money on your brand new games. Wait for a spring Steam sale to come along. You can pick up like 30 or 40 games for the price of like, what, 3 games? Retail on the consoles. It's fucking amazing. So in the pricing front, yes, PCs upfront are more expensive, consoles are cheaper. But long term, I told you, I saved $2,000 around US on my PC purchases versus consoles, which, even buying pre-owned, I didn't save a whole lot. Now I'm relegated to buy digitally because I guess the sales are kicking in and whatnot. Next comes to ease of use. Ease of use is defined by how easy it is to game on your device. Well, let me tell you how this works. Consoles are always going to be better than PC in that regard. Why? Well, let me tell you how consoles work. You come home, and with the exception of the Xbox One, I don't know if they changed it or they bundled the Day 1 patch with Xbox Ones now, but an Xbox One, you have to update it Day 1. But, versus that on any other console, you come home, you unbox your system, you put it, where you want to set it, you plug in your power cord, you plug in your HDMI or VGA or whatever cable you're using for display output, and you fire it up, and there it is. The system is started. There's no OS installation going on. There's no like other things you have to worry about on that system. That system comes preset with all the installed software that the company has relegated to you and all the maintenance options that it will perform in the background. So you won't have to worry about it. It's a system that is closed off and is just set to game and whatnot. What do you do next? You take your disc, whatever game you bought, you purchased at the store, or you got credit to download a game, you download it, or you stick it into your system, and on the new systems, Xbox One and PS4, it's going to install it, but you're gonna pretty much play the game. All right, you put the disc in, wait like what, 5-10 minutes for the initial install, you fire it up and you play your game. On the PC, you can run into a million different variables that happen, and it does happen, but not as much anymore. On the PC, you could have to worry about antivirus software, you're gonna have to worry about viruses attacking, you're gonna have to worry about driver differences, you have to worry if your hardware could support it. And sometimes what happens is developers are so fucking lazy on the PC front, even though it's a very viable platform now, they won't code the game efficiently to use the hardware. I have a GTX 780 and an i7 3730K. And if you don't know what that is, that's a very good kit to game on. 16 gigs of RAM, it's a very good gaming rig. There are games that come out that I know don't use the fucking graphical prowess of anything, and they lag on my system. Why? Because the developers don't give a shit. Alright? That's how gaming works. But, that being said, don't listen to a lot of misconceptions that people tell you where PC gaming always has an issue. It doesn't always have that issue. It's only with a few select games. For the most part on PC's front, when I buy a game off Steam or Origins, I download it, play it, and it works most of the time. The only 5%, that happens is when the game isn't coded properly or doesn't work. But for the most part, it works. And let me tell you right now, when you PC game and you don't want issues, you're going to need a decent kit. People tell you PCs lag and whatnot, and you got to ask some of these people what they have. Because some of these people will mention the most stupidest systems that they'll be gaming on. A fucking 1999 laptop, you know, it's a 4:3 aspect ratio that has fucking, you know, fucking nothing really powering it anymore if you compare it to today's technology, and they'll try to game Battlefield 3 on that. No, it won't fucking work, okay? It won't. Alright, you need a pretty sufficient system with a dedicated graphic card, a pretty decent processor, and a nice chunk of RAM. You're gonna need that, alright? You can't fucking game on shit that isn't built to game on, alright? Don't game on laptops unless they're gaming laptops, and even then, get a dedicated rig. Now, the other option we've got over here, I mean, as long as, you know, performance and stuff goes, you know, gaming, you'll always have that performance, you'll have a set resolution, set frame rate, and for the most part, the game targets that. PC, you gotta change settings around, but even then, it's not that big of an issue. If you can deal with that, then PC gaming is for you. The final thing that we gotta talk about is the sharing and social options, alright? Now, a common misconception here is that, you know, fucking consoles have the better sort of online infrastructure, and I'll tell you right now, PC's got the better infrastructure, and I'll tell you why that is, okay? I'm not gonna tell you opinionated fucking shit here, alright? I'm gonna tell you factual evidence why. PC has multiple different online services. Now, one of the online services that's very popular is Steam. Steam works better than most. Steam works better. I mean, on the consoles, you've got PlayStation Network, you got Xbox Live, you got eShop. That's what you got on the consoles. And for most of the time, these systems work well. You know, they might have download issues sometimes. I know for the PSN, I had the longest issue with download speeds. For now, it's fixed, but, you know, on the consoles, you have an online infrastructure, but on the PC, you've got infrastructure that has more people. It has better servers. If you go on Steam, the download speeds for Steam are fucking insane. Alright? The amount of friend options you can do, the amount of sharing you can do is better. Now, of course, interface-wise, I'm not a big fan of Steam, but I can always use Origins or anything else. We have multiple different vendors on the PC that offer their own online infrastructure. Now, is this necessarily a good thing? Yes and no. Yes, in the sense that you have more options, alright? I can game with multiple different friends on multiple different services. I don't have to use Steam. I can use Origins for my whole time. I can use Uplay. I don't have to suck Steam's cock, okay? I don't have to worry. Steam is not the only option versus a console where, like, if I want to play a game, I have to have Xbox Live. I have to deal with Xbox Live shit. I have to fucking purchase an Xbox Live subscription to even use any feature on the Xbox Live Marketplace or even on my console itself. Same thing with Sony. If I want to game online, I gotta pay a subscription. There is no PC vendor I know of, personally, that requires a subscription model. Yes, there are MMOs like The Elder Scrolls Online or World of Warcraft where you do need to pay a subscription fee. That, because they're an MMO, they're their own independent client. But as far as a general overarching, you know, system that you're using to game on, right? Like an overall, like, structure, they don't need any monthly fees. Once, actually, Microsoft Games for Windows Live actually utilized a subscription fee. PC gamers didn't take that. That fee doesn't exist anymore. I can use that fee, play online without paying any subscription online. That's a plus win for us. That being said, consoles have a pretty delegated, easy environment to game on. There's more integrated into the OS you're using. On a console, I can pull up my friends list, I can pull up anything instantly. It's within like a touch of a couple buttons. PC, you can do that too. But as far as online infrastructure goes, the server quality, the download speeds, the reliability even, lies with, you know, PC vendors more often. And that's partially because they've been around longer. The reason I keep mentioning Steam is the longest online vendor and gaming service that I remember of. They've been here before Xbox Live. They're a fucking really big service. Alright, and Xbox Live is good too, PSN is good too. Again, this also matters on subjective quality too, where your friends lie at as well. But that's the whole general thing. So in conclusion, if you ignore all the fucking bandwagoning and all this, you know, fucking fanboyism shit, PCs and consoles have their pluses and, you know, negatives. I'm not saying PC gaming is completely free of anything. No, PC gaming has its fucking issue. You know damn well PC gaming has its issues. Sometimes PC games don't work. I've mentioned it in this rant. I've mentioned it right now. PC games don't often have to work. Alright, console gaming has its issue too. When you buy a console, you're buying a closed system. You don't get the option to download third-party material onto your console and fire it off. That is not necessarily your system. That is Sony's system. They decide what you can run on it. They decide what features they want to give you or take away. On a PC, you can have as many features as you want, everything belongs to you, it's a more open platform. And that's what the difference between PC and console is. So for those asking me in private messages or tweets or Facebook posts or anything, what should I get? Get what you feel like getting. But remember, there are pluses and benefits, there are negatives and issues to everything. If you want to get a PC, you're going to need to fucking take a little more of the shit than usual, versus if you buy a console, plug it in, and play your games off it. That's how it works. So get what you feel like getting. And you know what? Don't listen to whatever the fucking fanboy or these bandwagoners say. Decide for yourself. You've heard the negatives and positives. You know where consoles shine, where they fail. You know where PCs shine and where they fail. You look at things like backwards compatibility. PC's got the backwards compatibility. Consoles, the 8th gen doesn't really have any backwards compatibility. You look at numerous other things. Maybe PC has another feature that you want. Consoles don't have that feature, or vice versa. You gotta decide for yourself, but I hope this video helps clear the air of a lot of these misconceptions. I mean, I've been critical of consoles. I made a fucking creepypasta about the Xbox One, for fuck's sake.
I was walking on the street one day, just minding my own business, and in the trash bin, I saw a glimmer of light, something shining. I saw a case. It was a game called Forza 6 Ultimate Collector Super Duper Re-Released Mix Edition, HD Remix. I had never played Forza 6 in years, and I had such a nostalgia boner for it that I decided to pick it up, go home, and put it in my Xbox One. I went home, fired up the Xbox One, put in the disc, and next thing you know, the servers were offline. The console was just so old. The Xbox 2 came out, and the servers weren't working. I couldn't use the system anymore. And even if I could, I'd have to pay money. And no! I couldn't play my Forza 6 anymore.
But, I won't deny it. Even that console has its fucking pluses. Just like every other console nowadays. Everything is good. You just gotta decide what's good for yourself. And don't listen to fucking what any fanboy army tells you. Every console and PC or Mac or anything is great. Alright, they all have their negatives and positives as anything in life. Get what you feel like getting. This has been a rant time, a very special rant time. And if you like what you saw, like, comment, and subscribe. This is me, Mudahar, and I am out.